Hello doctor, I'm Wang Yu. Our presentation mainly shows the etymology and development of English lexis. There are 6 members in our group, including Xiao Qian, Pei Jialei, Wu Yanan, Liu Shuaijun, and Ma Yuchun. Because of the particularity of our 6-person group, the lexis we show is also include to 5. Okay, next let's get down to business.
Hello doctor, my name is Pei Jialei. My train number is 155120. Today the word I want to explain is divest. Divest is derived from the Latin verb vestere, means to dress. The word was first used in 16th century and 17th century, after which the word took on wider usage. Now let's look at the evolution of spelling. The early spelling of divest was disvestere, and the word-forming elements comes from the Latin, composed of dis and vestere. Dis, dis, and dis, des have the same meaning, means no separate or in different directions. But in later Latin, dis, des becomes the most popular form. Vestere comes from Latin, means to put on clothes, so the word originally meant to undress or take off clothes. After the change of Old French, dis, des was changed to the dis, des, and the vestere removed the ending e and changed to the vestere. So the spelling form was disvestere, des-vestir. In Middle French period, de prevailed. Dis, des was changed to the d. The spelling changed to the divester, devester. But in 1560, the word became divest, and then to the current form of the word is divest, divest. So now let's look at the elevation of meaning. Because divest comes from the Latin verb vestere, so the meaning to wear clothes. The early meaning of divest include undressing and depriving others of their rights or property. In 1570, the meaning involved to strip by some definite or legal procedure. In 16th century, the meaning involved into deprivation or deprivation act. And before 1961, it had its economic meaning of divestment and sale. So now the meaning of divest has evolved into deprivation of power, sale, divestment, and forced to give up, and so on. So this is all my part today. Thank you, doctor.
Hello, doctor and everyone. My name is Liu Shuaijun, and I'm going to continue our group presentation. Okay, so let's look at the word quail. So this word is a verb, and here are the 4 common uses of the word quail. So the first one is to stop something, especially by using force. So for example, the police in riot gear were called in to quell the disturbances or unrest. The second one is to completely stop or end something. So for example, the police were called in to quell the riot. The third one is to calm someone down. So the example is if you quell an unpleasant feelings such as fear or anger, so you stop yourself or other people from having that feeling. The final one is to quell or allay some emotions, anxieties, etc. So for example, the child's mother quelled his fear of thunder. Okay, so I think you understand about the word choir. So let's look at the next part, the origin of the word choir. So the word choir is from the ancient English word "quislen". So quislen is oriented from Germanic language after being combined with the Dutch word quillen and the German word fehlen. It produced a new word choir. So this word is related to Dutch and German, and it means to kill, murder, or someone. So suppose you are a medieval king and you need to quell a rebellion. So you need to kill every rebel and you need to suppress that rebellion. That sounds very cruel, but now it's 2022, so for now we don't need to quell a rebellion. Our most important thing maybe is quell the virus, is COVID-19. So this is the use of quell changes, and we can see and we can find that the meaning of quell has become more and more milder than before. So let's look at the extension word quam. So quam is from the same root as quell. They both from the Old English quislen and means to kill, murder, execute. So the meaning has evolved from kill, murder, execute, become to the meaning of scruple of conscience. So this is the meaning change of the word quam. So that's all I want to say for the word. Thank you for listening. Let's move on to my group member.
Hello everyone, my name is Viana. Today, the word I'm going to introduce is flex. Flex origin derived from the Latin verb floere, flexi, flexing. Etymology as a fluent extended meaning is continuous flow, change, moving. Flexi is a variant of flow, and the origin of flex from the 1315 to 1400. The meaning in English, Latin flex is a flow equivalent to flexi, variant stem of flare to flow. Suffix of action with ctx. Of course, flux has many meanings. One is a noun, it's really like a flex. The first meaning is a flowing of fluid from the body, such as diarrhea. And the second is a continuous moving on or passing by as of a steam. Next is a continuous fluid, a flux of words. The last one is a change, fluctuation in a state of flux. The flux flowing the depth of the emperor. When it's a verb, it has many appearances like flexed, flexing, flexes, transitive verb. To case to become fluent, to chat with a flex. Intransitive verb, to become fluent, fluence. What's more, British dictionary definitions for flex. When it is known, a flow or discharge, continuous change, instability, a substance such as borax or salt that gives a long melting point mixture with a metal oxide. It's used for clean metal surfaces during soldering and so on, and for protecting the surface of liquid metals. Metallurgy, a chemical used to increase the fluidity of refined salts in order to promote the rate of chemical reaction. And symbol, when the word wipe, to make or become fluent, to apply flex to a metal soldering joint, and so on. As we know, there are many words from the flex. For example, non-flex, superflex, transflex. Last but not least, the translation of flex. In traditional Chinese, it means 变化，不断的变动，不停的变化，物质的变化。In simplified Chinese, 变化，不断的变动，不停的变化，物质的变化。It also can explain in Spanish and Portuguese. That's all.
Hello everyone, my name is Ma Yuchun and my matric number is 155147. The word I chose to introduce is shock. First, there is the origin of the word. At the time of middle 6th century, shock is from French choque, violent shock, and from Old French choque, strike against. It was originally a military term, meaning violent encounter of armed forces of a pair of varieties. The origin is uncertain. The original sense were thrown into confusion by changing at them, and an encounter between changing forces, giving rise to the nation of sudden violence below all impact. Next, I will introduce about the development of this word. Since the spelling and the pronunciation of the word shock have not changed, so I will introduce it to you about the change in the meaning of this word. Let's look at the existing meaning of the word. On the left is the non-meaning, and on the right is the web meaning. The word meaning changes over time, and the original meaning is not replaced by the new meaning, but remains together with the new meaning, and it has been used for now. So we will talk about the different meaning of the word shock at different times. Shock has many non-meaning. Different meanings appear at different times. 1610, a sudden blow, a violent collision. 1705, a sudden and disturbing impression on the mind. 1746, momentary stimulation of the sensory nerves and the muscles caused by sudden surge in electrical current. 1804, condition of profound prostration caused by trauma in emotional disturbance. 1876, feeling of being shocked. Next one. 1906, shock observable is attested. 1907, shock valve. 1917, shock trips and shock therapy. 1938, shock treatment. Next one. Now is the time when the different webs appear. 1615, cause someone to feel surprised and upset. 1660, called violently. 1746, affected with an electric shock. We will find that over time, all the different meanings evolved by the shock have been retained and used until today.
Hello, Professor. I'm Xiaoqian, and the next is turn to me to analyze the word holiday. And about the transformation of holiday, there are three parts. The first part is original formation, holiday. And as we can see from the screen, for the etymology, the holiday is from the Proto-West Germanic or from the Proto-Germanic. And I searched that parts of the origin of English is also from the Proto-Germanic, so I think it's not borrowing words. And for the holiday, I divided into two parts, the holic and the deck. There are two meanings of holic. The first is holy and the second is healthy. And holic is also composed to whole and ig. The right side of the screen is a transformation of whole. The whole is from the Proto-Indo-European, which first means healthy, whole, and intact. And after 3 times change, it eventually turned to HAL form in the Middle English period. And for the ig, it's just a suffix that helps to form the adjectives from the nouns or verbs, so there's no other special meaning of it. And that's a descendant of the holic. Since the Middle English period, it has already turned the form HALY, that it has the form that we use today. And the next part is dead, and it's also from the Proto-Germanic, which only has one meaning, which means a day, 24 hours. And that's a symbol that which be used in Anglo-Saxon's ruin poem, also means a day. Actually, in the Proto-Indo-European, the dag means to burn, but in the Proto-West Germanic, it changed to a day. That meaning has changed. And after 2 times, the Old English and the Middle English, it eventually turned to day. That's a day, that which also means a day. And we can see from the material just now, this word has existed basically in the form of holiday since the Middle English period. Until we use the form of holiday, and from the holiday we can also see that the word did not originally refer to the holiday or the day that people not work, but to a holiday. It is a word with a religious culture, and it did refer to some religious days in the past, and such as the Sabbath. And later it was commonly used on some holy festival in the West, such as Christmas or Thanksgiving. Until today, we can use it on all the holidays and the days and the day off. And that's all my part. Thank you.
Hello, Doctor. I'm Wang Yu. Next, I'd like to present our group's view on revive the use of English words that are obsolete or no longer widely used today. Language is a tool for human beings to express themselves and the career of culture transmission. As a language, its practicality is very important. Therefore, in our whole group's view, the importance of resuming the use of obsolete or not widely used words is not strong. Firstly, with the further development and reform in the field of English language research in recent years, more and more people use English for communication, which leads to the situation that English has become the official language designated internationally and the most widely used language in the world. In this process, some words in English that are no longer applicable to the current era and obsolete have naturally been eliminated. In fact, Lexis, as the most important part of language, is also an important tool for human expression. Therefore, its practicality is indispensable. For example, school grounds and campus originally means the venue of the university, but nowadays people use campus very frequently, while school grounds is rarely mentioned. The main reason is that the scope of campus includes the whole school, rather than the open places such as gardens and the playgrounds. Therefore, students and teachers often use the word compass to summarize. From this point of view, practical words are easier to be accepted and used by everyone. Compare between those two words is the significance and the importance of resuming the use of school grounds instead of compass strong. Okay, next, secondly, in the historical development of English language, there have been many major reforms and integrations. As the saying goes, the survival of the fittest. This sentence is also very applicable here. For example, the influx of a large number of French words has changed the meaning of English words, and some of the inherent English words have been eliminated. Some of them still exist, but their meaning have changed, or they have taken on unique stylistic and emotional colors. Take a practical Lexis example. White. White means marriage in Old English. However, after the French word marry was introduced in Middle English, the word white in English gradually became an extended meaning. Besides, its gerund whiting is still a common word. This is still a common word, but is also only limited to marriage ceremony. However, in the current society, such use has obviously been recognized and hated by the public, and in this case, it's no longer meaningful for people to restore the original meaning of white. Therefore, in the face of such a situation, all members of our group think that the importance of restoring words that are obsolete or no longer widely used in today's era is not strong. Okay, this is all the contents of our group. Finally, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Doctor. Bye.